Okay, maybe just a few reminders for our participants. Kindly keep your microphones on mute during the entire lecture. At the end of the lecture, we'll be able to entertain any questions that you might have. So you may type it on the chat or you may raise your hand if you want to address our speaker directly. I will be disabling the unmute button to make sure that we'll have a smooth flow. All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight here in the Philippines, morning for our speaker. Um, so before we begin, let us start with an opening prayer.
Dr. K, is there sound or no?
There's no sound, Rhea.
Let me share my screen.
Let me be the change I want to see, to do with strength and wisdom all that needs to be done, and become the hope that I can be. Set me free from my fears and hesitation. Grant me courage and fill me with spirit to face the challenge and start the change I long to see. Today I start the change I want to see. Even if I'm not the light, I can be a spark in faith, service, and communion. Let us start the change we want to see, the change that begins in me. Today I start the change I want to see.
Even if I'm not the light,
Not the light, I can be the spark. Faith, service, and communion. Let us start the change we want to see, the change that begins in me.
Jesus in us.
Jesus in
To give us an overview and to remind us what the Sustainability Lecture Series is all about, let us hear from the Vice President for Research and Innovation of De La Salle University, Professor Raymond Tan.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this edition of the 2023 Sustainability Lecture Series. I am Professor Raymond Tan. I'm the Vice President for Research and Innovation of De La Salle University in Manila, Philippines. This lecture series is being held in cooperation with the International Association of La Salle Universities, or IALU. This is a global network of universities with presence in the Americas, in Africa, the Middle East, Europe, and Asia. The lecture series is conducted by the Center for Engineering and Sustainable Development Research at De La Salle University, which is a comprehensive private nonprofit Catholic university in the Philippines. As the flagship Lasallian institution in this country, we are proud to say that we've grown significantly, not just as an educational institution, but as an institution that drives the creation of new knowledge through research and development. The lecture series is inspired by, firstly, Pope Francis's encyclical Laudato Si on care for our common home. This document enjoined Christians all over the world to reassess their lifestyles and adopt more sustainable practices for the benefit of the human race. Similarly, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals set forth in 2015 17 goals that have been adapted by countries all over the world as a roadmap for development within the limits that can be sustained by the planet. Both of these documents provide basis and inspiration for the sustainability initiatives that are undertaken by academics throughout the world, including academics working within the IALU network. The Sustainability Lecture Series was initially conceived in late 2020 by a core group consisting of Dr. Kathleen Aviso, the Dean of the Gokongwei College of Engineering, Dr. Carmelita Quebenco, Chancellor Emeritus of De La Salle University, and Dr. Alvin Colaba, the Director of the Center for Engineering and Sustainable Development Research, and of course, yours truly. The lecture series deals with diverse topics in sustainable development and are mostly held on the last Wednesday of each month, streamed via Zoom and with recordings made available via YouTube. We have a dedicated YouTube channel with almost all of the previous lectures made available publicly, with a total of about 5,000 plus individual views to date. And we've drawn on resource persons from the global IALU network to share their initiatives on sustainable development. And as the world emerges from the COVID-19 pandemic, we have decided that this lecture series remains a testament to the Lasallian commitment to a greener planet. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tan. So I am pleased to introduce our speaker for tonight. Dr. Nuria Hernandez Celes has designed and coordinated the first degree in Transmedia Project Design and Management taught in Europe at Salle Campus Madrid, where digital content designers are trained. She is an international doctor in educational sciences, and her research focuses on the field of transmedia education. She has coordinated international research projects based on Harvard campus, and she accumulates an experience of more than 1,000 hours of international stays linked to teaching and research connected to instructional design of technology-mediated education. She has coordinated strategic processes in higher education institutions in Spain, Great Britain, and Algeria, all of them linked to training in virtual context. She regularly collaborates with international organizations linked to digital training in vulnerable contexts, such as Fundación Telefónica's Pro Futuro and La Caixa. In the last 5 years, she has published more than 25 impactful scientific articles related to education in digital context and the design of transmedia narratives. She regularly participates in international research projects linked to technology-mediated education, such as the European Transmedia Literacy Project, Elan Erasmus plus CBH, and Mineco, Transalphabetismus, and Platcom. Let us all welcome our speaker for tonight, Dr. Nuria Hernandez Celes, who will talk about design of a humanist approach with positive social impact in the technological field of undergraduate education, the degree in transmedia project design and management.
Thank you so much. And I truly want to thank you all for the invitation to participate here. Before most of you engaged in the conference, I was mentioning how important this type of initiatives are to be able to share experiences, to share knowledge among countries and among people and La Salle community, which is sometimes I was mentioning before that sometimes we have like conferences just with people speaking and not really sharing the experiences, which is what I really truly think is most interesting for all of us. So I will speak about our campus, and I will speak about this strange degree we have designed in La Salle, but it's the name is strange, but the purpose is very familiar. You will see to all of you because it's just telling stories. Okay, so and of course we'll have some time for any questions that may arise, but please feel free to contact me at any moment for anything at any time, even at this evening time. I think that some of you are you know, like it's not the best time for you, but I truly appreciate that you took this into consideration. And well, I will start sharing a little bit because they, of course, probably some of you don't know our campus in Madrid, so let me introduce it a little bit. And
Yeah,
I would
Nuria,
like
please
to
share your screen. Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to do this now. You will see sometimes I share, sometimes I speak. Okay. So, well, this is our Instagram in our campus, okay? You can see Jean-Baptiste Lassalle in a beautiful, we even have a puppet of him, like he appears in many spots. Okay, so very briefly, I think that it's a beautiful story, the story of our campus, because teachers in La Salle, like teachers in schools, were trained somewhere else, okay? So, well, of course, the mission and all of this was handled by the brothers, but the certificates came from different universities, of course. So once they realized, why don't we actually create a degree and train not only our future teachers, but teachers all around Spain, okay? So in 1948, they decided to do this. They started a small project, which was based in one of the schools we have in Madrid. But then this project started growing big, and many people were really interested indeed if you ask in Madrid, for example, some schools, when they get the CV from students in La Salle, they say, oh, this person is really well trained to become a teacher, you know? So it became very popular because of methodologies and so, and then they established in 1970 proper university, you know, with different buildings and so on. So now we have two faculties, the health school or faculty and the social studies and education school, where my degree is based. We have also a postgraduate school. It used to be a business school, but now it's also because the faculties are growing in postgraduate courses. It's more open-minded and integrating all the activities in the campus. We also have a rehab, I don't know, space. I don't know how to say exactly the name, but well, it is a rehab which is connected to some of the degrees in health. And so students have the opportunity to do placement there, but imagine it has about 400 patients a day. So of course we have hired students who finish the degrees, and of course we have other professionals working with us. It is a very interesting place because it has like lots of research projects, some of them based on no pain in the rehab processes. Okay, well, I tell you also about the things that touch my heart or my mind. Okay. We also have an area for religion sciences, which is really big in our school. It covers postgraduate courses, and there is a lot of fluency from people from all over the world to be trained here in La Salle. Okay. So we get brothers and sisters and also teachers in religion from many spots, not only in Spain, but all over the world. And to finish, we have our Laudatio Si aligned project, which is Campus for All. As I was, last year, we had a person, Maria Jose Quintana, who is the coordinator, speaking about this in these conferences. And it is a global plan in our campus for development and sustainability, okay? It connects all the community, teachers, staff, and also students, of course. And it is dealing with articulation in subjects, projects, and of course, volunteering in different areas. And I think that's all. I don't want to expand it anymore. I think that the innovation, sorry, of course. There is also an innovation area in our campus, and I think Elba, who is leading this area, is connected now, which is also a very strong support for actually all the projects in our university. It has a clear innovation goal, but it also has like support to help and promote more projects aside from the self academic matters. Okay. All right. So well, if you have any question after about the campus, we can also cover that. Madrid is beautiful. Our campus is wonderful. There are big gardens. People are very nice, as you can see from me. You are invited, of course, to come. And we are really eager. The international office is, you can't imagine how they love the exchange programs and how they care about everything. So you're very welcome to visit us whenever you want. All right, so let me share you my presentation on the degree. Okay, can you see the presentation on the degree now?
Yes, we can
Yes.
see it.
Okay, just in case. If not, I will go speak and speak. All right, so why introduce a degree like sustaining that it has a humanistic impact and of course, therefore, a social impact, okay? When I think about the challenges of the university, so what is the future of university, okay, which is, of course, a matter to all of us. When I read articles about this, I often read about how to integrate technologies or how to, make more innovations and so forth. Yes, of course, I totally agree with that. But what I think, but on the other side, I also read articles about the future of university involves training students for critical thinking, to be able to, for gamify the training, for self-awareness, to be able to collaborate with others. And then I say, but aren't these all natural human abilities that maybe, for whatever reason, we lose time by time when we are in schools, sometimes just sitting, listening and producing or repeating what we hear, right? So I think that the goal or the future of university needs to, I don't know, of course, I can't generalize about all universities. I know more about Britain, about Algeria and Spain, and a little bit about Holland, okay? But probably sometimes we miss the intrinsic values and the intrinsic goal and mission of university in society, which is, to me, if I can summarize it, is to have a social impact. How do we have social impacts? Through training our students to be happy in society, if possible, to make a better society and to revise how society is, okay? So to me, and I will share it now, designing a degree that has this goal was essential, because when I think about tools, and this is a sentence that's very frequently said at university, we tend to say tools are always a means and not the end or the purpose of things, right? But that is not actually what I often see at universities. It's like we often train our students with lots of technical tools, but sometimes these technologies, if you don't know about the roots of design, the roots of critical thinking, how to reflect of things, how to in the future, how to know how to collaborate with others, how to look for information, how to refresh in yourself, the tools may be obsolete, but you have to always be fresh, you know? So how can we do this? I think that university and schools, of course, we have also commitment to helping our students feel they can be free, they can love themselves, like they can try to figure out how to have a good relation with others, a healthy relation, which involves working on conflicts as well. And you will see some other aspects I will introduce in the presentation. So that's what we try to do with the degree in transmedia narratives, which is also connected to the digital world. You know, like the digital world is digital, is the economy, how we work and how we communicate. It is everywhere in our world nowadays, or not in every country, but yes, in many countries. So what is this degree about? So sometimes when we talk to the students, like who want to enroll with us, we say that nowadays most of the cultural contents or references we have are transmedia. What is the meaning of transmedia? It's not a monomedia content, which is like, for example, in my age, no, I had a comic, we had one book, you watch a film, but now most stories are spread around or with different media. So it's like a puzzle, okay? Like, I don't know if you know the puzzles. So it's like you know part of the story here, like in YouTube, for example, part of the story in the series, part of the story in the book. And so you connect all the pieces and then you engage in the full story. And also it is very interesting, and that's why we chose this approach. And this is very connected to Salle values, because transmedia in the academic ground refers to being aware that when you communicate, there is an audience, and the audience needs to feel part of the interaction. Okay, this that we may say, well, that's obvious, of course, but it doesn't really happen in communication, not even between us sometimes, no? Like you speak, and okay, so many campaigns, for example, with a lot of money fail because they didn't care about the audience. It's like, wow, this content is beautiful. We spend a lot of money, and the audience says, I don't care about it. It's like, I don't feel reflected in this, right? So Pokemon, for example, is one example of an expanded universe. This is considered nowadays the greatest universe. It has like, I don't know how many video games. Of course, many people have this Pokemon hunting thing. It has a lot of books. It has a lot of products that people like. And of course, the fans have expanded the universe themselves. So they have created webs, contents, and so forth. Okay. So we have a picture on the left. It says, todo lo que te gusta es transmedia, means all that you like is transmedia. So for us, it's very easy to connect with our students because actually it's true. Like what you like or what you do in your free time to enjoy, mostly it's connected to what you're going to learn, right? And of course, as you see at the right bottom, we have an example of a very famous YouTuber in Madrid, in Spain, who is an academic as well. And now the market has changed. So we have people like just broadcasting their lives or their thoughts, and that they make a lot of money. So this also needs to needs an answer from university. So how are we going to cover these different fields of, so the means to create content has changed, and also the business has changed through this digitalization, right? Okay. So we work with different professional contexts: entertainment and fiction, video games, digital marketing, multimedia production and design, web design, and then things like artificial intelligence, big data, and trends in general, because this needs to adjust to different moments and trends. So as you see, oh, many fields, but actually they are all rooted on storytelling, okay? So now it seems that the industry in general has an awareness of the power of narratives. So we are built up, self-constructed through narratives and the society itself. No, it's like what we hear, what they tell us here, there, like so. From different narratives, it's like you create a network of what the context is, who you are, who you should be, and things like that. So they've integrated this into their business models. And actually, if you have a look at one video game, the video game is expanded in maybe some series on TV. Also, it has, for example, the characters will tell you more stories in YouTube. So it is all connected, actually. So now this is not like boxes. So entertainment uses video games. Video games use entertainment. Digital marketing is everywhere. Even small businesses need it. Okay, and of course, tools need to be used to expand the narratives. Fine. So this is what we learn now. Narrative design, very important. Design fundamentals and cultural content. Then, as you see, this is what we even tell our students and parents. So this degree deals with narrative design, design fundamentals. So fundamentals. So it's like, okay, the tool changes. I know what I have to do, but I need to learn the tool, but I have the design basis already. We tell them that we have a profound humanistic foundation, that we analyze critically the labor context and the trends. Okay, so you need to know how the world is, and then you can decide what you want to do. Okay, And of course, then at the end, it's the tools. So when I was beginning this degree, most teachers were connecting to the tools and, like the freakies, I don't know if you understand that, but people just are aware of the technology. And I was like, no. This is something else, okay? And well, now everyone is very aligned to this. We work with students like this. For example, our students are connected anytime, anywhere. Like this is a welcome moment where students from different courses, from different years, this is a 4-year degree. We have a break where we always get together at the same time, so that they have moments for exchange, to speak, and so forth. In class, they perform their proposals. Okay, so this is a performance where they dressed like the characters in their series or film. I don't know what exactly. Okay, so it was a transmedia proposal. So they dressed, and it was so funny because in this case, even the father of one of the students participated. We have open classrooms. So whenever someone wants to get in the classroom, they do. We don't care. For example, it's very frequent that you are working with the students and then 2 teachers come to class and sit down. And then they listen to you for a while, or they stay all the time. They even participate. Come with me because I'm explaining something and you know a lot about this, so maybe. Okay, so this is also, I am telling you a little bit about the atmosphere and the meaning of the degree, so that then I tell you how we articulate this, okay? Of course, tools. We provide all the students with a computer, with all the tools they need. We also have how do you call this? Well, we have a set, yes, with cameras, with everything, but we also have them in the library. So imagine the same, you rent, no rent, you borrow a book, you borrow cameras, lights, anything. And I tell them, use them as much as you can. Even they say, can I use this for something which is not academic, but I want to create it? I say, of course, this is also academic. Because if you have the need and the will to create, we should support it. It's also a commitment for us. And so they can borrow everything. I have to say that I was quite worried because our campus was not reluctant to do this. But I have to say, since 1917, we had no problem with that. Imagine, at least some problem with a camera. Never. So it's they really care about that. I think it's also because if you trust them, they care more, no? Maybe. Is what I think. Then we also have like initiatives where we invite people from different places. For example, in this case, we call our partners in placement and we say, okay, do you have any social challenge that we may answer to? And then they say, yes, we would like you to help us do this, because we work with many NGOs in the placement. So it's not only Netflix or any, no. Is we work with anyone who needs to communicate, no? And so they come. So we invite people from, for example, the blonde girl is an illustrator who was the friend of someone. So we have different profiles. We have more technological ones, the students in the degree, people who, even I have had someone joining as ballet dancer. I was like, okay. So this is what we do. And then these groups work together for 1 weekend. And then they provide a solution and a prototype. It's important for the business or the organization who asked them. We also have a maximum, which is we work with the hands as much as we can. So not only the technologies, but we use our hands, laptops down when we are in class, and it's not necessary. And this is something that everyone agrees with. I was like, sometimes think, no, maybe the more technological people, like the people who teach augmented reality, they are very, indeed, when you talk to them, they are always like answering WhatsApps, but they listen to you. I don't know how, but they do that, they manage. But they say, no, laptops down, and when we are not using the technology, we don't use it. Okay, this is the teachers, like I am the, now my hair is shorter, but I used to have it like this. So of course, these teachers are all in the market, you see. And they are also academics, they've been that for some time, okay? This is our campaign this year. Our students designed that, okay? So they thought about this idea of the bubble, okay? Because they think that they feel, and I will let you know about now I'm going to the more practical part. They feel that they are like a bubble that it has their own identity. They feel they can create their own identity, but also bubbles connect to other bubbles and create designs and things like that. So they came up with this idea. It was interesting. And so as you see, they are the protagonists of the campaign because they tell the story. It's their story. It's not my story. It's not the story. Of course, we are part of the acting, no? But actually, they're the protagonists. And so they tell the future protagonist what we're doing. So we have so fast in the classrooms, by the way, which is okay. So okay, this was like the background and what we do. So how do we articulate this? So we first set up some targets, okay? What are the targets for this technological degree? Okay, so the main things, apart from the cognitive level, are the social. So we believe that this is my field of research also, it's like all these socio-emotional elements sustain the cognitive ones, okay? So we think because of how society is built up now, the massive use of technologies and so, our targets were to promote self-awareness. So who am I? Have I thought about this? How can I think about this? And how can I also, well, let's say love myself and also position myself better, okay? To trust myself. Because also, of course, this is the best in life if you want to be healthy, but also in the market, you need to tell your own story. Otherwise, it's like the same here, 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 here. So why do I choose you? Because you are cheaper? Because no, it's because I can tell stories in a different way. And if you like that, and we connect, then these stories will be created this way, okay? So self-awareness, then skills for healthy and positive peer relations in different systemic positions. So, of course, how do I collaborate horizontally? How do I collaborate when I have a hierarchical, even I'm down or up? No? How can I build up my project, or how can I sustain somebody else's project in a healthy way when I work with others? We wanted to build up an awareness of the professional environment, as I was saying before. Okay, so how is the world now? What are the challenges of, for example, this, well, we know that it's like Amazon, Google, and Facebook or now Meta, actually it's like they own most of the communication market. Okay, this is like very big. So what is the consequence of that? How do I move around this? Or Netflix, or so there's no like little business anymore, or not so many. Then we wanted to help them promote skills to analyze the context with a holistic perspective, and also to make the decisions integrating different realities. It's like, this is my reality, this is yours, how can we integrate? And of course, we wanted to enrich their cultural background. If you want to tell stories, you need to read stories, to watch stories, and this is something that less and less our students don't do anymore. You know, like sometimes I have faced situations where some students confess they have not read a book in their lives, or that they don't read books. So, wow. Well, to me it's very surprising, to them it's normal, okay? So we oblige them to read. Then, so based on this, these are 5 key elements that were articulated in these ways. We have a curricular perspective. That means some subjects know they have to articulate either, well, these are numbered, but I didn't do it here because it meant nothing to you, but we have this like, so in your subject, you have to work on 1, 2, 3, 4. In your, you have to work on 5 and 6. Well, no, there's no 6. Okay, so we did this, and we have like, of course, we have some subjects just devoted to this, which is, for example, anthropology, psychology and creation. We have persons and companies and social responsibility. But then in other subjects, we are covering these things. And well, and I'll tell you the management then. And we also promote projects with social impact. So as I was mentioning some of them before, right? So, fine, methods, okay. So of course you can't, you need, the important of this to me is the coherence of the project, which is, it is implying the subjects. So, like not only the contents, but how we transfer them. It is implying the methodology and the management, and I will mention that now. So methods, so we promote collaborative learning, project-based learning, and we also take a lot of care about the individual production. If you only, and of course, we have a tutor for the collaborative learning processes. Just the tutor is managing the conflicts, how to solve these things, and what are their expectations, what are their problems, and also what are their happinesses. Because I tend to think of the conflicts, but there's also a lot of, and students really appreciate this. I will tell you later. So, project-based, because we also need to work on real projects that are similar to their future lives experiences, right? Sometimes we even have in many subjects like projects that actually happen. And so to do all of this, of course, for all the teachers to fix some of the articulation and the methods, you need to work very closely. So, and this is, I think, my true contribution here, is that if the management and the teachers don't align and don't work together the same way you want your students to work, this is very difficult to articulate. That is, if your students, if your teachers or the teachers don't feel they can truly collaborate, for example, we design the subjects together. So we have every year, we have some time, like at least 2 days for 4 hours. We work together and we exchange. Well, I'm thinking about designing this new project. Would you like to join with me and your subject? We all have a voice, an individual voice, like exchanging the things we want to do. And whenever there is a worry, like for example, now with artificial intelligence, we say, okay, we're going to organize something and we're going to work on that. And we'll establish the solutions and we'll implement them the following year. So we had this like last year. So the thing is that if your teachers, for example, we take a break every day for half an hour in the lessons. It's very curious that we teach one subject per day. Okay, so we stop for half an hour, and all the teachers get together. So we talk about life. We talk about we are fed up with this student. What about this student? He's always complaining. We talk about the last book we have read. So we are actually doing what we really want our students to do. So we share about the cultural background, we share about our lives. So we have a social and a cognitive exchange, right? We also, so this time is important. We also, as I was saying, work together to create the projects. Even now, my teachers or the teachers are crazy. You know, like they want to do more things than we can. It's like, no, stop, please. I'm not going to do anything else. And they are, yes, this is very easy. I say, no, because when it's like when you feel listened to, you want to do things. This is very simple, but of course, the university, we have a little time, we have so many things to do, but I have to say that investing on these things is what makes the rest happen. For example, for 2 years, I had to build up this environment, okay? But now everything's happening naturally, and also between students and teachers, okay? And also, we have established a great research group and so forth. So it's like naturally then the things happen. So we had a research project, and I want to tell you a little bit about the conclusions or of what our students told us that they felt about these 5 goals I mentioned before, okay? So if they felt, if they felt this like was present in the degree, because we don't actually tell them about this, but we have articulated it, and how important they think this is for their future job position. So they mentioned things like their profile is very polyvalent, so they have a very global perspective. They really value the ethics that we transmit them, because they think that they're really aware of this. Like they don't see the market as a place to trust, and they want to have their own voice, and they want to change things. You know, this is beautiful. Like I think so. After they think, they say, well, yes, maybe I can have a voice and do something about this. They also think that one of the most important experiences has been to be trained to work with other people. Okay, they of course, they tell us about the problems they had. Sometimes it was awful, but they think that they are ready to work with different people. And they really, because I don't want to speak more because the time is. And they truly valued also the close relationship between teachers and students. Like they thought, they felt trusted by teachers, and this helped them, be more authentic in their narratives. And that's it. Okay, we have a 5-month placement, which is very important for our students. We have an agency where our students do some placement as well. This is something they created for their internationalization. This is a picture of yesterday here in Portugal. And there's many university challenges, but I think like filling in the gap between students and teachers nowadays is very important. And empowering university values is really, really important for us. And that's it. Thank you very much for listening. And I'm sorry, there's only 10 minutes for questions if you have them. I don't know if it was clear or not, but.
Yes. Thank you so much, Nuria, for that wonderful and interesting presentation. Actually, we have the first question in the chat box from Brother Bernard Oka. The question
Okay.
is, how are the students assessed?
Very good question. Yes. As I was mentioning before, coherence is really important in all the aspects. So imagine that we ask them to work on projects, to find themselves, to feel free when they create, and then we have only exams for assessment. That would be totally incoherent. Well, or at least I can't imagine how we could fix it. So we have hardly any exam in the degree. So if they work on a project, they are assessed in the project results and very important, in the project process. Okay, so we have like this is like another puzzle. It's a bit transmedia. So imagine you have an assessment on the process, an assessment on the result. You are assessed by your teacher, very often or mostly assessed by your peers in the group, and sometimes you self-assess yourself. So it seems articulating this is hard, but with the, for example, forms and automatic processing, or answering, the group assessment, you can get it in an Excel. And of course, then you adjust the individual. Of course, we also have an individual adjustment. So for example, imagine I have a group and I think they deserve a 10. But when I see the group grades, one of the students has been graded with 5 or 6 by the rest of the group. So what I do is sometimes I talk to the whole group and check what's going on, or I adjust the individual grade to 6 in this case. And of course, they always have a tutoring time when they can come and ask me or say, no, Nuria, this is right or this is wrong, and so. This is more or less it.
I see. So,
And we have, like every subject has at least, I think it's at least 3 projects per subject. But for example, in my case, I usually have like 5 to 7 projects.
I see. So in their final year, is there a capstone project like a thesis or what kind of assessment do they have for their final year?
Bueno, we have all of this. So you have, for example, every project has like, this is 2 points. This is, so you create a means to adjust that. And we don't have final projects per year, but we have that per degree. At the end, they have a final project.
A final project. Okay. I see.
For
So
example,
there's
this I can tell you a little bit about. We had a final project this year, and I thank the student because it had a format that I had never seen before. And I said, thank you for enlightening me, because we usually are more very academic. It's like document with index, normally. I am also very, in this, I like that. I think we shouldn't lose that. So, but in this case, she was reviewing disco music, pictures, let's say. And so she handed me a record she had designed. Inside, you have the theoretical framework, justification, references, and it was like a record. And I was like, wow.
wow. Yeah.
Sorry. So, any more questions?
There's another question from Professor Raymond Tan. He is curious, how do you plan to incorporate new and future AI tools into the curriculum? Because as you know, AI nowadays can create content and can actually create like new graphics and uh, uh word content. So how do you plan to incorporate those tools?
We had a talk last week, and I proposed something. If you want, I have to collect all the talk information. I'm going to organize it, and I'm going to create a proposal from the degree points. If you want, I can translate that to English, and I can share it with you.
Yes. Thank you so much. We will appreciate that.
The trend is mostly to integrate the AI and not to forbid it.
Yes, I agree with that.
But I can do that. I will send you the summary, okay?
Okay, so we have another question. Working in teams is really challenging. Can you share with us some successful methods you have used to help students effectively collaborate with each other?
Who asked this question? Sorry.
It's Professor Kathleen Aviso. So how do you help the students effectively collaborate in teams?
Effectively.
Yes.
Vale. See, what we do here is, because we didn't have a lot of time to, the articulation is this. First, they build up group agreements, what we call a commitment, okay? And this is a template, okay? So they share the group names if they want to establish a name for the group. What are the students' roles within the group in this project? But all the students need to have a role. And we promote the social role, which is someone who takes care about the rest. So not only like, oh, we need to finish this, but who cares for the social environment. So if someone is down, come on, you can do it. You're late, but let's wait for you till tomorrow. You know, like and if there is a conflict, yeah, like a coach. Exactly. Report to the teacher also. Also, we specifically, they have to agree on what to do if a group member is not active. They have to do that. And we also ask them to plan the project. So they have a plan with all the deadlines for every part, let's say. Here, the teacher can see if they are collaborating or just creating parts and then fixing. No, we don't want that. And then what we include there is like the values of working with others. It's like a reminder why we work in groups, because of this. More or less, that's it. And then, of course, the teacher in the process is present and is providing feedback and help, but it's not do this, do that. No. Then they are free. No, they are they need to build that self auto-regulation and a commitment and so forth.
Okay.
This
Thank you for your answer. That's very interesting to have one student with the role as the coach or the motivator. So there's another question from Valerie Adonsu. Thank you for your communication. When talking about the targets, you mentioned cultural, ethical aspects. What about the spiritual ones? Not necessarily the religious ones. So do you include that spiritual aspect?
imagine, yes, we have this is something very funny. Like I hired a priest to teach students anthropology, right? And so when he came the first day to the he said, I am a priest, and then another teacher raised a hand and said, okay, I'm not a priest, but I come from the islands in Spain. Well, it was like, but the fact is that, of course, that is so important. It's not only about, of course, any religion in particular, but what you're saying, in what we work about the self is all these questions. Where a human being asks him or herself about many elements, like who am I, what is the world, what is over there, how can I connect myself to the universe or to God or to many things, no? And so, of course, this needs to be covered here. And we do it in particular in one subject, but in two subjects, sorry. But we also promote some projects together with science of religion and so forth. So we try to connect them in different ways.
Okay, thank you so much for your answer. There's a question from Paul Thoughts. Nuria, thank you so much for your presentation. It made my day. It is 6 a.m. CST in the US. And as you said, when you trust people, they care more, appreciation. So it's not actually a question, but more of a comment. All right. Are there any more questions? Oh, so it's another comment. Thanks for sharing your experience with us. It was a great lecture. And from Professor Carmelita Cuebenco, one of the organizers. Thank you very much for your interesting presentation. What guardrails have you had in place to ensure that AI is used responsibly and ethically?
In this sense, as I was saying, I can provide you the summary, but we identified, because we teach AI and we have two experts in the degree. So they taught us some ways to identify this type of the use of AI in different contexts. But we are trying to establish some normatives, okay? And on the other hand, we are also helping our students to integrate this as part of their work, but then these tools don't go deep, you know, at least at the moment. But it is a challenge.
Yes.
And we I still have no clear answer. We're working on that.
Yes, I agree. It's also a big challenge for us in the Philippines, dealing with AI. Okay, so for the interest of time, that will be our last question. Again, thank you so much, Nuria. I'm really happy with the talk because it's the first time that I heard about such course, and I'm sure many young students from our side of the world would want to attend your course. So please continue sharing your knowledge and wisdom to people like us. So we will have ideas to start to start a new course like that.
We
So
have we have documented this process.
Mhm.
So, but not in English for the moment. But yes, of course, feel free to share whatever. And also, I'm sure that probably if I had the chance to talk to you, I would get many insights to adjust things and improve them. But
Okay.
thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the invitation. And
Yes. So before we end, I would like to first invite everyone to next month's lecture. So next month, we will have a lecturer, Doctora Arisbeth Amixin Perez Martinez from Universidad La Salle, Mexico. So she will be talking about recycling strategy for textile wastewater in the presence of additives treated by simple ozonation. So please, if you want to register in advance, you may use the link or the QR code as shown on the screen. And also, we would like to invite everyone, if you have any feedback for us to improve this sustainability lecture platform, please do send your feedback using the QR code or the link. All right, so Noria, do you have any last key takeaway message for our audience? So right now it's already 8:05 in the evening in the Philippines, and we are very happy to be here and to have listened to your talk.
well, maybe I can. I am worried about the future of university because if we keep like the world trends on just results and professionalization connected to being the boss here, being the boss there, probably if this is what is in the subconscious of our students, Google and big companies are already offering training, and universities are certifying this. So if we don't strengthen our identity and the real value that we have, which is a lot, I'm worried that we might disappear or become just a research, a certifier. So I think it's not just thinking only about the innovation, but also about tradition.
Yeah, I agree with that. Thank you so much, Noria.
Thank you.
And thanks again,
Thank you, everybody.
everyone, for being here. See you next month for our next lecture. Goodbye, everyone, and good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.